What if I told you there's a place where you can retire on half your current budget, sip locally produced award-winning wine by the Mediterranean, and get world-class healthcare for the price of a Netflix subscription? Sounds crazy, right? Here's the shocker. Thousands of Americans are already doing it. They've packed their bags, left the stress behind, and started a new chapter in Spain. If you've ever dreamed of living somewhere where life feels lighter, the sun shines longer, and your dollars stretch further, you're gonna want to see this. Because in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how you can retire in Spain. Legally, comfortably, and without giving up the lifestyle you love. From the best cities to settle in, to the visa tricks most people overlook, and the one mistake that could cost you thousands. I'm covering it all. So grab a coffee, kick back, and let's talk about how you could be living your best life. Not someday, but sooner than you think. Welcome back to Retire Without Borders, the show where I give you the inside information on how to successfully retire overseas. Let's get one thing straight right from the start. The version of Spain you see in glossy travel magazines is almost always the most expensive one. When people imagine moving to Spain, their minds immediately jump to the bustling centers of Madrid or Barcelona, or maybe the glamorous hotspots of the Costa del Sol, like Marbella. And sure, if you plan to retire in a penthouse overlooking the Sagrada Familia, you'll need a pretty hefty bank account. People often mistake the cost of living in Spain's prime tourist and economic hubs for the cost of living in the entire country. That's like judging the cost of living in the United States based only on Manhattan or San Francisco. The truth is, Spain is a huge and diverse country, and as soon as you step away from those hyper-popular international zones, the financial picture changes dramatically. The real, authentic, and most importantly, affordable Spain is out there waiting for you. It's a Spain where your retirement savings don't just last, they stretch. It's a Spain of charming whitewashed villages, vibrant mid-sized cities with all the amenities you could ever need, and stunning coastlines that haven't been totally overrun by resorts. The cost of living in Spain is, on average, significantly lower than in many other Western countries. This video is your new map. I'm going to fold up that tourist map of Madrid and Barcelona and open a new one that leads to financial freedom and the lifestyle you've been dreaming of. So why is Spain showing up on just about every best places to retire list out there? Well, let's just say Spain checks a lot of boxes. Imagine waking up to sunshine more than 300 days a year, stepping outside to the smell of freshly baked bread from the local bakery, and sipping espresso in a quiet plaza as the morning unfolds.
That's not a vacation. That's Tuesday in Spain.
But let's dig a little deeper, because this isn't just about tapas and sunshine. I'll get back to tapas later, you're going to want to know about them. Spain offers a combination of lifestyle, affordability, and infrastructure that's hard to match, especially if you're coming from the United States. Spain's cost of living is one of the biggest draws, and for retirees living on a fixed income, this is huge. Prices in Spain can be shockingly affordable. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Valencia or Granada will cost you around $600 to $800 a month. That's a lot less than living in Madrid or Barcelona. By comparison, rent where I live in Los Angeles is about $2,600 a month for a similar size apartment. Utilities, public transport, fresh market produce, wine are all much cheaper than what most Americans are used to. You could comfortably live on $2,000 to $2,500 a month in many parts of Spain and live well. This isn't scraping by. This is dining out, enjoying cultural events, and traveling locally. In fact, Numbeo, a cost of living database, regularly ranks Spain and cities like Alicante, Seville, and Valencia some of the most affordable cities in Western Europe. Second, healthcare that's both excellent and inexpensive. Let's talk about healthcare, because this is often the make or break issue for retirees. Spain offers universal public healthcare for residents and citizens, and it's ranked among the top 10 healthcare systems in the world by the World Health Organization. Expats who become residents can often access the public system after registering, or they can opt for private insurance, which is also extremely affordable. While Spain's public healthcare system, Sistema Nacional de Salud, is one of the best in Europe, offering high-quality, nearly free services to residents, most American retirees still choose private healthcare for several key reasons. First, having private healthcare may be one of the visa requirements. To get Spain's non-lucrative visa, NLV, or digital nomad visa, retirees often must show proof of private health insurance that covers them without co-payments and without using the public system. So, even if you plan to eventually join the public system, private healthcare is often required at the start. The second reason you want private healthcare is access to English-speaking doctors. While many public doctors speak some English, it's not guaranteed. In private clinics, especially in expat-heavy areas like Costa del Sol or Valencia, English-speaking staff and doctors are much more common, making communication easier and more comfortable for Americans. While I highly encourage you learn Spanish, it will take a while to become proficient. Having an English-speaking doctor will be a tremendous help. In summary, private health insurance in Spain is remarkably affordable compared to US rates. Plans can cost between $55 and $225 per month, depending on age and coverage, making private coverage a luxurious yet budget-friendly option. Third is climate and lifestyle. Now, let's talk about the beautiful climate and serene lifestyle. Spain's climate is famously mild. Again, I am from Los Angeles in California. When I spent 2 weeks touring Spain, my immediate thought was that the weather seemed very similar to California. Southern regions like Andalusia offer Mediterranean warmth nearly year-round, while the north is cooler and lush. But even in winter, the weather is mild. Whether you love dry heat, coastal breezes, or mountain air, there's a place in Spain for you. But what's even more important than the weather is the lifestyle. Spain is built for enjoying life, not racing through it. Meals are slow and social. Cities are walkable and vibrant. Life revolves around family, community, and culture. The entire country pretty much shuts down in August so people can go on vacation. Want to go for a stroll along the beach promenade? Want to take a siesta in the afternoon? How about catch a flamenco show in a historic courtyard? That's all part of a normal day here. It's a culture that genuinely respects aging. Seniors are visible, respected, and active members of society. Spain delivers a rich cultural diet that never gets old. Plus, traveling in and out of Spain is easy. Cheap flights to the rest of Europe from budget airlines like Ryanair or Vueling. High-speed trains between cities, like Madrid to Seville, in under 3 hours. Efficient public transit makes car ownership optional in many areas. This decreases your monthly expenses. Next is entertainment, leisure, and travel. You'll want to budget for fun. So, part of your monthly budget should include some set aside for leisure activities. Museum passes are $2 to $4. Many are free for seniors. Weekend getaway to Portugal or France will only set you back less than $150. Your dollar or euro goes much further here, which means you can do more, travel more, and enjoy more, even on a modest retirement income. Dining out is also ridiculously affordable. Eating out in Spain is not a luxury. It's a lifestyle, and it's priced so that retirees can enjoy it often. Coffee will cost about $1.20. Glass of wine or beer will run you less than $300. A plate of tapas will cost less than $400, and 3-course menu del dia lunch with wine will cost only $1,500. Dinner for 2 with wine at a nice place will cost between $30 and $50. Fifth is safety, stability, and infrastructure. Now I'm sure you're wondering, is Spain safe? Actually, Spain consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in Europe. Violent crime is rare, and most cities are extremely walkable, even at night. The infrastructure is solid. For digital nomads and remote retirees, high-speed fiber optic internet is widely available, even in smaller towns. So what's the actual process of moving to Spain like? What are the complications with the paperwork, the visas, and the logistics? Well, it's not as complicated as you think, but there are some crucial steps you need to get right from the start. Alright, so you're sold on Spain? You're already picturing yourself sipping wine in a seaside town or wandering cobblestone streets in the sun. But now comes the big question. How do you actually make this happen? While it definitely requires some preparation, it is a clear and well-traveled path. I'm going to focus again on the non-lucrative visa, since it's the main option for non-EU retirees like us. The name says it all. It allows you to live in Spain, but it doesn't allow you to work. As I covered, the main requirement is proving you have enough money. That magic number of about $30,000 per year for one person. When applying, you can prove financial means through bank statements, pension or social security income, showing investment income, annuity income, or rental property income, as long as it's passive. You'll need a valid passport with at least 1 year left before it expires. The completed visa application forms. You'll also need proof of your finances. Finally, you'll need a clean criminal background check from the police in your home country and any other country you've lived in for the past 5 years. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really just a process of checking boxes. Once you're approved, you get a visa in your passport that's valid for 90 days. You then travel to Spain and, within your first month, apply for your residence card, known as the TIE. This card is your official ID in Spain and is initially valid for 1 year. You can then renew it for 2-year periods, and after 5 years of living there legally, you can apply for permanent residency. Now for the fun part. Where exactly are these affordable havens? When people think of southern Spain, they often think of the pricey Costa del Sol. I absolutely love the town of Cadiz. I had a friend in high school whose stepdad was a doctor in the Navy and was stationed in Cadiz. I visited for a week while on vacation from studying in Germany and fell in love with the place. But Andalusia is a massive, incredibly diverse region, and its heart lies just ever so slightly inland. Cities like Granada and Seville offer an unbeatable combination of culture, history, and affordability. Granada, home to the magnificent Alhambra Palace, is a vibrant university city where the tradition of getting a free tapa with every drink is still very much alive. You can rent a beautiful apartment for a fraction of what you'd pay on the coast. The cost of living is low, but the quality of life is sky high. For an even more authentic and budget-friendly experience, check out the smaller Pueblos Blancos, or white villages, that dot the Andalusian countryside. You can find apartments to rent here for as little as $400 a month. Region 2, Murcia. The warm coast and unbeatable value. Tucked away in the southeast corner of Spain is the region of Murcia, home to the Costa Cálida, or warm coast. The cost of living in Murcia is among the lowest in coastal Spain, but it boasts one of the best climates, with over 300 days of sunshine a year. Ever have a Valencia orange? I'm guessing you have. They come originally from Valencia. The region of Valencia might just strike the perfect balance for many retirees. It has it all: a vibrant world-class city, beautiful Mediterranean beaches, and incredibly affordable towns and villages. But the real value can be found along the Costa Blanca. While some parts can be touristy, towns like Alicante, Denia, and Torrevieja are hugely popular with retirees for a reason. They have large, established expat communities, meaning you'll find English-speaking services, doctors, and a ready-made social life. If your retirement dream looks less like sun-baked beaches and more like dramatic green landscapes, rugged coastlines, and Celtic music, then you need to look north to Galicia. This is green Spain, a world away from the Mediterranean clichés. And because it's less famous among sun-seeking tourists, it's also one of the most affordable regions in the country. Cities like Lugo, famous for its intact Roman walls, and Palencia offer some of the lowest living costs in all of Spain. Lugo's average rent is just $400 to $600 per month for a nice apartment outside the city center. The food culture is incredible, centered around some of the best seafood in the world. For those who are truly focused on stretching their retirement income as far as it can possibly go, there is Extremadura. Bordering Portugal and western Spain, this is one of the country's least populated and most affordable regions. If you haven't checked out my video on retiring in Portugal, click the link above to open it. Cities like Badajoz and Cáceres consistently pop up on lists of the cheapest places to live in Spain. While moving to Spain is relatively straightforward, there are a few things you need to be aware of. First, check the specific consulate's requirements for the visa. Second, don't too long for the background check. The FBI background check can take weeks or months. Ask me how I know. Third, remember to book your TIE appointment. These can book out weeks in advance, especially in busy cities like Madrid or Barcelona. Also, make sure your health insurance is with a Spanish provider, with no deductibles or co-pays. To wrap this up, let me go over some practical tips. You know the budget, you know the locations, and you know the process. Now, I'll get into the strategies that will take your retirement from simply affordable to truly abundant. Tip 1. Rent before you buy. This is the golden rule of moving abroad. I cannot stress this enough. Don't buy a property on your first trip. Renting for at least 6 months to a year lets you experience a town through all its seasons. Does it get too crowded in the summer? Is it too cold or quiet in the winter? Is it as walkable as you thought? Renting gives you the flexibility to test drive your new life without making a huge and potentially very expensive commitment. Check out my video listed above on how to test drive a country before you make the move. Also, the fastest way to blow through your budget is to try and replicate your old life in Spain. Instead, embrace the local lifestyle. Don't import all your items and pretend you live in the US anymore. That means shopping at the local mercado for fresh produce, fish, and meat. The quality is incredible, and the prices are often lower than the big supermarkets. And it means drinking delicious and incredibly cheap local Spanish wine instead of hunting down expensive imports. I've touched on this, but it's worth repeating. Move to a smaller town. Your money will always go further outside the major cities. Many expats find the best lifestyle is in a medium-sized town that has a good hospital, a train station, and a lively town square, but isn't on the cover of every travel magazine. These places offer the perfect blend of amenities, community, and affordability. While you can get by with English in many of the coastal expat hubs, learning Spanish will completely transform your experience and save you money. It opens up a wider social circle, lets you negotiate better prices with local workers, and helps you handle any paperwork with more confidence. You don't need to be fluent overnight, but making an effort with a buenos dias and gracias goes a very long way. Locals really appreciate it, and it will make your life so much richer. Don't try to figure everything out on your own. There are vibrant expat communities, both online and in person, in almost every region of Spain. These groups are an amazing source of practical advice on everything from finding a good plumber to finding the best place for paella. But don't just stick to the expat bubble. Join local clubs, take a class, or volunteer. Integrating into your local Spanish community is the real key to feeling truly at home. So, I've just toured 5 incredible regions, each offering a unique and affordable path to your Spanish retirement. I'm curious, which one is calling to you? Are you dreaming of the culture of Andalusia, the sunshine of Murcia, the balance of Valencia, the green hills of Galicia, or the ultimate savings of Extremadura? Let me know in the comments below. So there you have it. The dream of retiring in Spain doesn't have to stay a dream. It is an absolutely achievable reality. It's not about winning the lottery. It's about being smart, doing your homework, and being willing to look beyond the obvious. By focusing on affordable regions like Andalusia, Murcia, or Valencia, you can build an incredible life for yourself. And if you're finding this breakdown helpful and starting to see your Spanish dream take shape, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out and ensures you won't miss my future videos about retiring abroad for less. Thank you so much for joining me today.